Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today, new build day, we have got the new release from Deagostini Collections, build the Ford GT. So, new build day, we're going to be building the Ford GT. This is the car that won the 24 Hours Le Mans between 1966 and 69, I believe. And as you can see, it's in the Golf livery here. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I'll put the link here to Deagostini Collectables. If you follow that link, it just says you've come from the World of Wayne channel. So they'll know where you've come from and where you've actually seen this. I've also put it in the video description as well. But I'm going to show you the brochure and show you what we're building. So before I get onto the collection guide, let me just show you this little pamphlet here, which again, brilliant graphics, just like we had for the other Deagostini Collectables release, which is the Rossi bike. If you haven't seen my video for the Rossi bike, I have put a link up here for that, so you can actually get that for yourself as well. I am actually going to be doing pack 2 of that tomorrow, so that's going to be fun. Let me go back to this. So if I turn it over, it's just a guide to your subscription there. So put that to one side. This is what the brochure looks like. And very good one, this one, because when you open it out, it's telling you a little bit about the car that we're going to be building, as you can see there. And then it opens out into a ginormous section. I don't know if you can see that completely on camera. I'm having to scroll it through. But I'll keep it on this one, because this is actually showing you that it's 51 centimetres or 20 inches long. It's going to be 12.8 centimetres high and 22.2 centimetres wide. It's going to weigh approximately 8 kilograms, as you can see there. Absolutely lovely car. So I'm just going to show you a few more things there, showing you about the instructions and how to build it. And this is the gift guide that you get when you subscribe. This could change at the time of filming. This is what we're going to be getting, including a display case there. I'm just going to go back to this one here just to show you some of the features that this car's got. You've got realistic mechanics, steering wheel with movement, interior details, functional accessories, and it's basically realistic details. So I'm looking at this build going to be one of these ones that really go to town on all the little tiny parts. So that's going to be fun. Now, we've got 2 magazines. Each stage comes with the magazines, and you get the first 2 stages in this pack. So without further ado, let's get cracking. And it all starts with stage 1, and this is what the stage 1 magazine looks like. So let me just turn that over and we'll have a flick through the magazine together, just telling you about the Ford GT and a little bit of history about it there. Keep turning, as you can see. And then this is where the instruction guide comes. So it's basically pretty standard. It's giving you an inventory of parts at the start and then how we're starting to build it afterwards. Now in the first stage, by the look of it, we have got the headlights here and we've got the bonnet. Mason bonnet. Don't look like we're doing actually anything in the first stage. And this is just showing you what your completed car is going to look like. So this absolutely ginormous box, look at the colour of that. And this is giving you an idea of how big it is. Again, I tend to find that if I hold it up against my head, you can actually see how big this vehicle is going to be. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the box open. We'll have a quick look at it, but I'm going to keep the parts stored in this case. It's quite funny how this is stored actually, because if I just turn this upside down, as you can see, this is only holding part of it in, so this can actually come out quite freely now. But that is the section that I wanted to look at first, because this is all metal, and I wanted to give you an idea of the paint scheme and how these little details look on top. That's what it looks like from underneath. Absolutely massive. And then that just leaves the headlight housing and the headlights that we've got in here looking like that. But we want to keep these safe, so I'm going to put these to one side and I'll put this back together. So that moves us swiftly onto stage 2. So again, just having a quick look through the magazine that we get. Each stage is going to have its own magazine here. Keep turning. Bit about Le Mans there. And as you can see in this stage, by the look of it, we're going to be making the first rim for the tyre. They are providing a screwdriver for this. I won't be using that one though. I do have, as you know, my own wearer screwdriver, which is a PHO tip. That normally actually suffices to do all of these. But we're going to be putting these together. So at the end of it, we have got a finished rim, and looks like we've got a brake hub as well, looking just like that. Now this is what everything looks like, and as you see we do have a screwdriver in here. Something I would advise if you haven't watched the channel before, this is the first time, when we go into metal, which is some of these parts here, I do have some 3-in-1, it's just general 3-in-1 oil that I'm going to be applying to some of the metal screws just to aid them going into the metal parts. So I'm opening these exactly like I have been. So there we go, once again, that's everything we got there. Take this out. And there's the screwdriver you're provided with to start off with if you haven't actually got a screwdriver. So this is the rim centre here. This is all metal. Lovely colour scheme there. And I need the outer for that, which looks just like this as well with these pegs inside. Again, this is metal. So quite simply, I'm just going to line this up over the pegs and push that into position. So that's what it looks like from that side now. Again, these wheels are going to be really heavy because this section here is heavy as well. And again, we've got holes that we're going to align with these pegs. Just like that. Takes some squeezing to get that in there. Now, surprisingly, when we push this in, we haven't actually got any screws to put these together. So I'm guessing when the wheel goes over the top of that, that's going to hold that in. But as you can see, it's strong enough to actually hold its own weight in there. So I'll bring over the hub carrier now, and I'm going to need my little tiny tweezers, a brake cooling tube socket to go in there. As you see, this has got a D-shaped sort of pattern on it, which is going to match the D-shaped pattern in here. So it fits in there just like that. And it's going to be held in from the other side with FP01 screws. Now with these screws, normally if there's a P in it, it means it's going into plastic. If there's an M or a D on it, it normally means it's going into metal. By the look of it on this build, we have D, which is going to signify metal or die cast, I'm guessing. So quite simply, it's just a case of getting the screw and putting that in. Simples. Now this is the brake disc. This is what we're going to be putting in next. As you can see, it's already got a texture on this side, and this is what it's looking like along the edge. We're just going to be putting this over the top here, like that. And we want to keep that in place and stop it falling out with the caliper, which looks just like that. Now the caliper is plastic. It's going to go over the lug just there, and we're going to screw it in with the hole at the bottom. So put that in over the top, so it's in like that. And obviously it encases the disc as well. And this is where we are going to use one of the FD01 screws. This is going into metal. So I'm putting it in a little bit of 3-in-1 oil. Make sure this is lined up. And get this screwed in. Just like that. Now this is free to move around at the moment, where when the wheel's on, that's going to be steadfast in place. And to demonstrate that, we're actually going to be putting on this part now. So the spindle in the middle is going to go in here, and as you can see, we've got a notch just at the side, which is going to go into the notch that we've got just in the side there. So put this in. And there we go, that's free to turn, that's all the way in. And it should be sitting quite flat in there. We want to keep that into place. So on this side here, we've got these flange screws now, which is FD02. They do give you spares in this. So even though there's two, we're only going to be using one. And that's just going to go into the center hole here. I have put this in some oil. Get that tight. Now this is a PHO screwdriver. When I want to do things really tight, I use a PH1, bigger end, and you get a little bit more torque on it. Now you want this to be quite tight because you don't want to have any wheel wobble between the hub and the wheel. Now I'm guessing we probably will have to take that screw back out again when we actually put the tyre on. That's just to keep that safe. And then obviously when that's all finished and we do have a wheel on there, we've got the spinner, which is going on the outside, or the hubcap, just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So there you go. So you've actually just dipped your feet now into how we're building one of these. Now, this is the first 2 stages. I'm guessing we're going to be having the next 4 in the next pack. That's probably going to be here soon, so that'll be on the channel. But once again, if you like what you see, and believe me, this is one of the heaviest wheels I've done on any of my builds so far. You want to get this for yourself. I'll put the link down here in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.